Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 119. You follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Special guest in the building, reoccurring guest in the building. Reintroduce yourself to the audience, new listeners every day, B.
All right, I want to, Ken Rock. Everybody call me Ken Rock. I'm kind of transitioning into Kenneth Thompson now. You know what I mean? Within the little
Okay,
world,
councilman.
the world that I'm running into. But so I am is my handle. I am _ Coach Rock. I'm just a father, a man. Try to be the best Muslim I could be. Try to be the best example I could be for my community and those that see something in me that they strive to be. So, shit.
First of all, this is 2 weeks in a row. I started off wrong. Sound like him.
Walaikum assalam up to Allah.
All right, now we hit the rundown. E-Block Radio Network, 2 o'clock every Monday on the E-Block Radio Network. GFT Radio Network, 2 o'clock every Tuesday. 216 The Blend Wednesdays, or what is that? 12 midnight, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. My bad, T. Then we go Friday, I Say Podcast Radio Network at 10 a.m. Rest of the week is wide open, y'all. West Coast, what's happening? Custom Hustle is the clothing line. Custom Hustle on Instagram, Custom Hustle World on Instagram, Custom Hustle Co. on Twitter. These would be the threes. You got 3 different versions of the sneaks. Now, if you're watching on the E-Block Radio Network, you can see that these are the threes in my hand, and they also say Hype on the back. They only say Hype because they mine. If you get a pair, they can say whatever you want to say on the back. They don't have to say Hype, but mine say Hype because they mine. Now, but yeah, we got soccer, baseball, football, basketball, and hockey jerseys, custom jackets, custom sweatsuits. We got the spring jackets, we got the sweat shorts, we got the whole sweatsuits. You name it, we got it. Also the flip flops too. So we doing it all over there. Custom Hustle. You name it, I got it because I own the outfit. H2H Cleaning, that is my cleaning company. Last time I seen Ken Rock, first time I met Ken Rock, he caught me on an H2H cleaning job. He seen me out there getting busy on somebody's lawn. We do roofing, plumbing, flooring, HVAC, cleanups, cleanouts, all of that good stuff. And we doing remodeling. So at H2H Cleaning on Instagram only. Now, Rock, this is like, we're going to make this part 5. Both sides of the wall, part 5. But this is the Welcome Home edition. Rock been home. Again, if you've been listening for a long time, we appreciate you hitting the button. You know, we only accept 5 stars on How to Hustle Podcast. Fine. Me and Rock probably go back to like early 19. When
19 before the pandemic,
this was before the Rona, when the world was different.
Yeah.
Rock used to call in and drop jewels on us from the feds on the Fed line, going that this is a collect call from. You know, like we was into all of that, and we used to talk all the time back then and just communicate and making sure that we could hone that relationship. Shouts out to Bugsy because he was the one who said, "No, I think it'll be a good situation if y'all got with Rock." Now. Me and you talking, then you had a whole plan for what you're gonna do when you get home. Right? If you don't have a plan when you come home, you usually end up back. How long you been home now?
I've been home now 17 months. Alhamdulillah, after doing 16 years in federal prison, the 22nd would be my 17th month home.
Copy that. So now this is what we need to know. What was the game plan? How have you executed the game plan? Because let me say this. Bro, I'm proud of you. Came home with all these big ideas of the stuff that you wanted to do. I want to get back into my community. I want to give back. I want to be able to dive into my boys. I want to be able to do things different this time. Like you said, I'm trying to go by Kenneth now. I ain't trying to go by Rock.
You know it ain't that I'm trying. It just transitioning, and I find myself in spaces where I gotta
I gotta say Kenneth Thompson and not K-Rock. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like I said, before I even let you go, I wanted to tell you that I like to give you the flowers while you can smell them. Let you know that this is what I'm thinking while I'm thinking it. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm glad to see these things. Just because I'm not hitting you, because I can't hit you every day to say, I see y'all doing this or y'all doing that. I'm watching. I'm loving it. Talk to us about the plan that you had and how you executed the plan.
Well, all right. So I got a thing about being modest, right? And some people say too modest, but to me, it's just the understanding.
It's not bragging if it's the truth, bro.
Yeah. I'm saying like the plan, the execution of the plan. So basically, inside of prison, when I first got locked up, I got locked up drugs. I got locked up basically with the mindset that I was supposed to be one to get locked up. Like I was supposed to be either getting shot, shooting, getting killed, or whatever that the streets had told me and told me that I was supposed to be. as when I was locked up, I just started to learn, first and foremost, started to learn to my understanding the best I was capable of learning the Deen of Islam, which basically, set forth a roadmap for me to walk as a human being, first and foremost, as a man. So a lot of that transition right there was, if I say that I want to be this person, then this person is totally different from the person who I became. So with that, with understanding within itself, a transition had to be made, right? So I went through my high spaces in Islam, maybe the highest I ever been, where I wouldn't, curse, I wouldn't say anything ill, I wouldn't steal, I wouldn't do anything. I was working in the kitchen one time. I remember I stole some spaghetti, man. I felt like a nut, you know what I mean? Because I felt like I was just going against the Deen of Islam by just stealing some spaghetti out the kitchen, right? So that's where I was at, like spiritually at a moment. And that catapulted into me just saying, all right, this is my plan when I go home, because I really had no idea what I was going to do when I go home. I just knew I wanted to do something different. At one point, it was like, all right, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Like just businesses. Like, all right, I could do this. I could start a window washing business and make this amount of money. I could start a recycling business and make this amount of money, right? So then as time went on, I just started to understand the concept and the reasons as to why I was in prison. And the reason why I was in prison because I was misled to believe that I was supposed to live a life that led others like me to prison. So once I started going through that, understanding like, all right, these are the traumatic things that happened to me in my life, and these are the ages that it happened, and this is the reason and the decisions that I made after it happened, I started to understand that, all right, maybe I need to learn more about this decision making process and go back to my community and help them so they ain't got to learn it while they walking off a 20-year sentence themselves. So that was my plan, to come back to my neighborhood, come back to my community as first and foremost a reinvented person with as a teacher, a facilitator of knowledge. You know what I mean? So that was my plan. And for the most part, that's the goal, to facilitate knowledge back to those who don't have the knowledge or may not have been provided with the knowledge and help them make better choices about their life. And basically that's it.
All right, so now I want to go into a couple of different things that you did.
Yeah.
I know you was doing the speaking at the schools.
Yeah.
When you standing there on the stage and you looking out at these kids, and I know in your head is you going like, damn, I'm really doing it. I'm here and I'm making it happen. Is it like, is they
Yeah.
gonna really listen to me? Do they even know who I am? Like,
Yeah.
what's the thought process when you stand? Because now it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
different from me designing the stinks and now I'm going, damn, they here. Like,
Yeah. I think like when I first came home, I think I spoke with him my first month home. My man Keith, he had put me in front of some kids at he was fixing up houses, had the kids in there teaching them. And he called me. And when I was there, like I was very, very excited, you know what I mean, for that moment. You know what I mean, I always be grateful for him for putting me in that space because um it was just a feeling of surreal, like, all right, I'm here, I'm talking to kids, like you said, like when I go to a school or something, it's like, all right, I'm really here. I know some kids don't want to listen because some kids don't understand the magnitude of what I'm saying or the space that they in as kids. But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be 3 to 5 faces and eyes that I catch, and I really feel like I'm touching those people. So it'd be surreal talking to kids. One of the most surreal moments for me when I had a speaking facilitation at the state prison in Maryland. I spoke for 90-minute sessions at three different, at a low, high, and a medium facility inside of Maryland State Prison, and that was like, it was like one of the best days of my life so far. You know what I'm saying? Being able to speak to them in that space and affect them in that magnitude. So it'd be
glad you went
real.
there.
Yeah,
Glad you went there.
yeah,
Walking back through the doors,
yeah,
and now you got a whole different perspective because you're here for a whole nother reason. You here
yeah.
of your own free will instead of, man, I got this dub to walk off. Walking back through them doors though, and now you talking to these people about, I know exactly what you're going through, how you was there. Talk to me about that feeling, because again, staring out at them faces like you said, and I'm looking, and I know he listening, I know he ain't listening. Talk to us about that one.
Yeah, I think like when I went to the Maryland State Prison, it was all that because I didn't like when I first came in, like I know the prison. Even though I never been to Maryland State Prison, I've been in the feds. And one thing I learned is prison, right? no matter where you go, prison gonna look the same. It's gonna be a certain amount of people in it that look like you. It's gonna be these people, that people on certain wavelengths and all that. So when I walk in there, bang, I go to the gym. First when I walk in, I go to the front, check in, bang. At the time I was married, we go in there, and it was like, yo, I'm going into the prison. You know what I mean? I'm checking in this joint, and they treating me different than I always got treating me like a person.
That's why I said walking back in
Yeah,
that door the other way is a whole level of
yeah, I'm
experience.
getting treated like a person. Like I'm laughing, joking, big, because they don't know that I've been in prison yet, right? So the people at the front desk don't know that I served 16 years in federal prison. So they just thinking I'm a professional coming in. They got my flyers and all that around the prison, life coach, and they might think I'm bored. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, like I got shoes on. You know what I'm saying? I'm in
Not
there
even that. Hold on. See, right
yeah,
here. Let me stop you from saying this because you
yeah,
talked about this in the initial answer with the
yeah,
mentality and the thought process. They don't know you are the boy. You
yeah,
are the boy. You always was that boy.
yeah,
They just didn't know that. That's on them for not knowing. That's not on for you to carry it any less. That's why when you
yeah,
said, like, I don't really want to say this like I'm bragging, don't never feel like you got to be overly humble with me. Because I ain't
yeah,
never going to be overly humble with. If you ain't pumping
yeah,
yourself, nobody is. Allah
yeah,
blesses you with certain gifts, and it's on you to recognize and send it like how can I say this? It's on you to make sure that those gifts are utilized and not wasted.
yeah,
If you get a gift and you don't utilize it and you just wasting it, then that's bad on you. So if you got something and you're accomplishing something, like you said, I'm coming back in the jail with posters about I'm a life coach and I'm doing it. Like, acknowledge that. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? Don't you demean the fact that, yeah, I was that boy when I was here and y'all was treating me like a nut because my number was 28261.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? That was on them, not on you.
yeah.
My bad. My bad for jumping on you on that one, but go
No, no,
ahead.
it's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's a struggle I'm going through right now. It's called survivor's remorse. Like I understand it got a lot of these drinks, but
It's gonna take some time. We're gonna
yeah,
get a little more than 17, but we out here now.
yeah. So when I go in the joint, first person I meet, I shake his hand. He incarcerated, but I see he putting together the drink, putting together the speaker system and all that. So I holler at them, "What's up, bro?" Woo, woo, woo. So he like, "All right." I'm telling him where I want the stuff at. So then when I go back over, I'm talking to him and a few of his homies. So I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm telling him my drink, like I'm before the seminar start. So he like, man, I'm telling you, I was just telling them that you spoke and when you talk like you had some prison in you. That's what the dude tell me. So I said, yeah, man, I'm of prison. So that just let me know, like, people that have been in prison and been in jail, we have a certain connection with each other without even expressing it, right? So this is the message that I conveyed to the people inside was that because what I realized that even though I was gone probably for a year, 13 months at that time, I was comfortable in that side of that prison as if I never left. And I could have went to that bunk, any bunk in that room that night and went to sleep. Sound, knocked out. You feel what I'm saying? And like I expressed to them was, I was even more comfortable in that space, in that gym, talking to people that I never met in my life than I was the night before sleeping in the Holiday Inn hotel. So that let me know, like, at the end of the day, I'm of something. You know what I'm saying? I represent something everywhere. Anything I do, I'm of a person who spent the majority of his life inside the walls of prison.
So that's also the situation of like the you say 17 years you down. That's them trying to beat in your head that like this is what you are, this is what you're gonna be, and you ain't never getting the fuck out of here. And it's it take a lot for some people can't get out of that mindset because they didn't beat it in their head so much. Some niggas come home for 2 days and go right back up top
Yeah,
because they can't even comprehend trying to be home with get a job, take care of your kids, or even where am I gonna eat tonight? Like
yeah,
nobody might not have never ruled for you them 17 years. Now where you going? Where you getting paroled to? Like
yeah,
what's the address you got on the joint? Some niggas would just rather be right back up top with these same niggas than even trying to deal with any of that.
yeah,
So that's definitely it's going to take some getting used to. But again, like I said, we home and able to get used to it.
yeah. I think like one of the things I've reflected on over the last 17 months too is just how hard it is to be out here emotionally. You know what I mean? Like um the average person not saying I'm above average, but the average person not really gonna understand what they going through. They don't really understand their feelings when they feel something. Like if I feel uncomfortable, if I like when you notice when I was seeing you, I was by myself. Like I'm usually by myself. You understand what I'm saying? I'm um I'm very big on community and connections and relationships, but the majority of the time I'm by myself. And I understand that I'm by myself because I'm so used to being by myself. Now the thing is, when I get in a space, a professional space or whatever it is, I'm comfortable enough in my ability to articulate myself, right? So I don't feel uncomfortable in those spaces. I just feel like, all right, I'm in here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
However, for a person who not comfortable with articulating itself in those spaces, will feel discomfortable, uncomfortable, and will automatically, subconsciously, migrate to areas and spaces where they're comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those
Go
spaces are
hide in the corner, yeah.
on the corner
I
and
don't I don't
around.
even want everybody to know I'm in here. So I'm gonna just go dip right over here. I'll be right here for the whole program. I can say
Yeah,
I was there, but I ain't had to do too much outside my comfort zone.
yeah. Or you want to migrate back with people that you feel comfortable talking to and things that you feel comfortable talking about. So if all I feel comfortable talking about is, for lack of a better term, bitches, hoes, niggas, and rats, and if all I feel is comfortable talking in these spaces, then that's where I'm gonna limit myself to. You know what I'm saying? And now
See that
those spaces create different actions and thought patterns that lead you back into prison.
so that go to what you were saying initially though, but everybody don't have this.
Yeah,
Uh when I'm coming home, I want to come home different than I came in here. Like I
exactly.
don't want to come home on the same type time. Some people can't wait to come home to be on the exact same type time. Just like it ain't 15, 20 years later. Like you was 20, that was cool. You're 35, it ain't. You're
Yeah,
55, it ain't. Like you 65, it ain't.
yeah,
You had to have, you should. Then you ain't gonna say had to because you know people who don't. You
yeah,
had to have grown. You had to have evolved. You had to have had some type of change.
yeah,
And if you haven't, then you could have just wasted 15 years or 16 years or 20 years, however much time somebody did. But if you came home on the same type time, then that's why I said that's how you get niggas who just can't adapt and they just rather be in jail. They don't know that that's what it is. Like they're not going to just flat out
yeah.
just say, I'd rather be in jail. But that's what
I'd
they're
rather be in a comfortable space, a space that I'm comfortable being in. Exactly.
but even then, like I remember you told me, bro, I ain't even know how to flush the toilet when I came home.
Yeah,
Like you told me that it was like making decisions like what I'm gonna eat. Like
yeah,
some people, I'm in jail. I know I got a time to go to the bathroom. I got a time I can use the phone. I got a time I can come out. Everything is structured. And I don't have to deal with the real life of, like I said, wife, kids, mortgage, job,
yeah,
kids over here, nephew. You don't have to deal with all of them situations. And if you just like, man, I don't even want to put myself in that situation because you don't want to grow and none of that. Copy. That's what some
yeah,
people's situations is, but hopefully that ain't the situation. But I know that ain't it with you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, totally honest. Like, this John do get overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like, this John overwhelming for me. Like, I manage it by staying purposeful and busy and focused on something. But the emotional aspect of me being home is very, very overwhelming. It's very uncomfortable to the point, like, I expressed this to you. I'm open to express it. Like, I was married. Like, that thing, it ain't work out good because emotionally I just couldn't attach to someone else. You feel what I'm saying? And that was my flaw within the marriage. And even with relationships with my kids, like, it's you my son. All right, this is my responsibility. I love you for the sake of love you, but the emotional attachment is something that I have to get better at. You feel what I'm saying? As a father.
We was going
So
right here since you brought it up because we had
yeah,
Deuce on. What was that? Both sides of the wall. Was that part two?
yeah,
Um, what is your relationship like with your kids now? Because now that you are home, that you've been home, I know you was doing a YouTube where you was telling them like we ain't always gotta go out and eat, and you was cooking up little stuff in the house and all that.
yeah,
Like, what's your
yeah.
relationship like with the kids now?
I think I think my relationship with my sons is an ongoing process. That I got three different sons, and they're all three different relationships. Um, my youngest son been living with me. So we go through our ups and downs. I find out what he don't like, find out what I don't like. Um, but for the most part, I have to understand it now that he know what my role in his life is. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like he know, like, all right, my dad role in my life is this. Um, I might not be able to, play games with it because I really don't play too many games. You know what I'm saying? I might not be able to like get a pair of sneakers when I want it or walk around past the trash can. You know what I mean? But my dad role is when I need him, he there. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing something that's not going to help me be a better man, he's going to tell me about it. When I'm doing something that's helping me, he's going to congratulate me and champion me about it. I do feel like me and my younger son have that understanding. My middle son, I think, is more so of we check each other temperature. You feel what I'm saying? Like we don't have as much time together as me and my younger son, but it's more so of like, all right, like he might hit me out the blue, like, Dad, you watch Who Cloned Tyrone? And I'd be like, nah. He'd be like, it's all right, woo woo, because he know that that's my twist. You feel what I'm saying? So when he finds spaces, educational spaces,
He's trying to find a way to meet you on the level. Yeah.
yeah, I think even when he's get attracted to something intellectually, you feel what I'm saying? Like if he get attracted to anything intellectually, he think about that space that he in, and maybe that's what me and my dad got in common. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because in these situations, like with your kids, it's like
Yeah,
I gotta learn how to be a son to my dad, and I gotta learn how to be a dad to my sons.
yeah,
And it's a huge adjustment from we talked about that on that episode, like I said, where it's we just relationship through pictures and phone calls and intermittent times, like where now it's like, no, I'm physically here and I don't like this or I don't like that. And it's like, yeah, well, I
yeah,
never got to know none of that through the 6 minutes that we was on the phone 3 months ago. Like,
yeah,
so yes, that's a whole different situation.
yeah. Then I just think they see me too, like I'm their father. Then they see the accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? And I only hope, pray that like that make them proud as my sons. You feel what I'm saying? Like, damn, my dad actually came out here and said he doing. Cause one thing about them, they know I'm moving. They know I'm up. They know I'm busy. They know I'm working. They know I'm moving. You know what I mean? They know. You know what I'm saying?
What
So
about your oldest?
my oldest son, our relationship is pretty much a good relationship. But he growing up, 22, just had a son. You know what I mean? So he
Oh,
do, yeah, I got
grandpa
a
Rock.
grandson. Yeah. So he pretty much understand, like we had a conversation yesterday just about, the ups and downs of being up and down. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just more so of a guidance to him now. Like, look, no cut card. You down right now, that's how it go. Like you gonna be down. It ain't gonna always be up. You just gotta don't stay down. You
Especially
feel what
once
I'm
you
saying?
got kids, because then you become the back seat.
Yeah, you gotta stay, you gotta get back up.
Them diapers, the formula, them clothes. He never
Yeah,
even wore this. He grew out of it. Yo, yeah, that's going
yeah.
on.
Yeah, you gotta tighten up. You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing. And I'm just hard with that. I'm just on the tip. Like you gotta tighten up because I done seen. I know in order to live, you gotta tighten up. It is what it is. Like life is going
Can't
put
cry over spilled
space.
milk. You just got to get them paper towels and let's start cleaning it up. You
Man,
can't
clean
sit
it up,
here
man.
and
It hurt. Do it before it starts stinking.
I'm about to say, yeah, you can't start letting it run off the counter now. It's on the floor now. It's down in line. Like you've created a whole problem while you sitting here watching it instead of moving on the problem. Now,
Knock out.
another one that you was doing was the workout situations with the community.
Yeah,
Well, I
right.
see you made the video. It was like, we're not gonna do 1,000 burpees. We're not gonna kill nobody out here.
Yeah, yeah.
We just want to get the community moving. Talk to us about that one.
I think the community workout, man, has been a blessing, man. For me, show love for the community. But especially for me, I just love being a part of something where I see people like actually like getting better within themselves. You know what I'm saying? And to be a part of something that created the space, the opportunity for people who may not move on a daily basis to come out first and foremost, feel the confidence in themselves to come out in the public space. You know what I mean? And one thing about working out, you know what I mean, ain't no faking. You feel what I'm saying? If you hurt it, it's gonna be in your face, it's gonna be in your body. Like it ain't no Instagram on that joint. You know what I'm
Them
saying?
hamstrings tighten up. They
Yeah,
tighten up.
it ain't no fake. You know what I'm saying? So when I see the people, I'm more proud about the people who come than about the workout. It's about, you know what I mean? Like the people who actually come out there. Like we don't have the we don't got the bodies out there. We ain't got the people who went through surgery and all that. We got people who actually more so concerned about their health than what their body look like. You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. It's about understanding the importance of health, right? Because health is a mindset more so of it as if health is more so in your mind than it is in your body. Right? We a lot of times we associate health with how we look, but not health with how we think. Right? Because we could kill ourselves from our thoughts more so than we could kill
How
ourselves.
you think is how you,
Feel?
yeah. The
Yeah.
voice inside is always the one that's the most important,
It's a voice
because
inside.
just like we just talked about that scenario where you say like I'm coming back into the jail, most of them people on the other side of the wall have been told constantly that you ain't shit and you ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah.
So then that projects onto you, and sometimes people internalize that shit because their voice inside saying you ain't shit, you ain't gonna never be shit.
Yeah.
So if you can't, don't matter what the world is telling you, the world will be telling you the best boy ever. But if that's all you're hearing, if that's all you're internalizing, not all you're hearing, that's all you're
Yeah.
internalizing, then that's what you're gonna move on. That's how people
Yeah.
be doing all kinds of shit. Like,
Exactly. So that's just like where I'm at with that. Like the workout to me, bro, is the best thing in the world. We got it every Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Every Monday, 9 a.m. on the 2500 block of Napa Street in North Philadelphia. 19132. We looking to move into the gym, inshallah, in September, Ethel Island Schoolyard gym, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then we're gonna be doing a Friday basketball training free for kids, girls and boys basketball training Friday nights. We're gonna be doing the men's group on Mondays at the center. Women's group on Mondays, men's group on Wednesdays. We doing Eagles Sundays at the center, watching the Eagles games together as a community. You know what I mean? Just
it was good until you brought the Eagles up, bro. Come on, Cowboy
oh man, I'm
Nation,
about to get
stand
the
up.
drink. Man, don't do that, man. It was too good to be true, man. Oh, you ain't playing like that,
I had
man.
to go to Eagles training camp work like a couple weeks ago, man. I was in there. Shouts out to the Cowboys. These dudes.
You tripping,
Money's money's never
tripping,
personal. It's always business. the,
tripping, man.
the last one before you go, bro. Do you just
Yeah.
got an award or something? I know you made the post and was like, I don't even do these things because I want to like a pat on the back or nothing. But talk to us about that. What was that one?
Yeah, so for the last 3 weeks, I got 3 different awards. I got one, give me your roses. A lady, she put this together for the city for just people doing positive things. It was real good to see us giving each other awards. Um, so I got that. That was a good one. I got one from Philadelphia Town Watch, a service award, and I got one from the city council, a citation from city hall, basically about Strawberry Mansion United, one of the initiative that me and a couple other brothers, Jew and Joe, and a couple sisters in the neighborhood put together. Um, about uniting our neighborhood. Like for those who don't know, Strawberry Mansion is a section within North Philadelphia. I was born and raised within it. Predominantly black neighborhood, about 20 to 30,000 residents. Like any other neighborhood that we know. You know what I mean? The hoods that we know. But we were separated for a long time. A lot of gun violence that happened over the years, including myself. I got shot um, on 2 different occasions growing up by different blocks within Strawberry Mansion. But now we're on a page now where we're uniting. We finding spaces to connect from 33rd and Diamond all the way up to 29th and Lehigh. And throughout this entire summer, I mean, blessings, praises all to a lost man or dollar. It has been really no violence in Strawberry Mansion this summer. I feel like it don't get highlighted enough. I think we had one homicide this summer, and the homicide, not to discredit it, the homicide, I mean, somebody lost their life. Um, but we do hone on the fact that the homicide was like somebody had an Airbnb inside the city, about inside the section, and people came there, and it was like nothing that stemmed
It
from our
wasn't nothing
community.
that was, yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't nothing that was from there. Yeah.
yes, and so on that tip, like within our community, we had no type of violence against each other all summer. You know what I mean?
And if you somebody that's listening to this who's not from Philly, we didn't hit about 400 or 500 bodies the last couple years.
Yeah,
So to hear that it's only one again, like Rock said, not to demean the one because one is too many.
yeah,
Because somebody lost a brother, cousin, uncle, aunt, however the situation was. Um, but to hear that there's only been one at this day and age here is a huge thing.
yeah. And we
It's
talking about
them
a high
everywhere.
crime area.
Yeah.
We talking about Strawberry Mansion, North Philadelphia. Like they try to take our school from us. Like we talk about a very high crime area, but at the same time, as one of the understanders of how things work in this city and in this community, we understand that they're not going to really highlight the fact that it's not been very much a very high level of crime in this area over the summer because they want our community. You feel what I'm saying? So the more they highlight the
Yeah, they came
crime,
hard for us in South Philly already.
yeah,
They
exactly.
came. They,
We still got a threshold. We have not been gentrified in Strawberry
oh, they
Mansion.
killed us. We did. We're dead down
Yeah,
here. We
we
just
have not.
every block
Yeah,
down here in our and
but
down
what
23rd
saved
Street,
us
24th Street.
has been home ownership because we had such a strong hold on home ownership from the '60s.
Good.
We was able to withhold, but understanding that a lot of those big corporations and companies are waiting those homeowners out because now they're 70, 68. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
now it's about educating our community and saying, all right, the ones that's 40, 35, 50, we are the
Let's
ones that
go.
have to show up now.
Let's go at the daughter, the niece, and the little cousin with this quick 60 bands and then
Yeah.
see if they bite.
For a million,
Yeah,
like,
that's how they got us. That's how
yeah,
they got us down here. Was we gonna get you to bite on this 80 bands? We're gonna get you to bite on this 60. Because if somebody never had nothing and you showing them 80 grand in cash, they biting every time.
yeah.
Now they
Not even
realize
understanding they in $1 million house. You know
not
what I mean?
understanding that down here, these joints is 500,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these joints is 600 and 700, and you ain't got a parking space. Like,
Exactly.
but that's a whole nother
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Um, uh, yeah, that's gentrification in the city. We
yeah.
whole nother situation. Um, but go ahead. Let me finish. Let you finish that thought. That you let you finish what you
Yeah,
were
so
saying.
that's like we have an understanding that like when we have our meetings, we have an understanding like we not really. I think our approach to Strawberry Mansion United is pretty much zigging while everyone else is zagging. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like everyone feel like it's a blueprint to do what? Get the bag. But what's the blueprint to revitalize your community? You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you get the bag in the community, exist. They don't go one on one. You know what I mean? Like we
Mm-hmm.
all know it's a lot of nonprofit bread out here. We all know it's millions and millions and millions of dollars they dumping on some anti-violence stuff. However, if we put us as Strawberry Mansion United, um, if we put our mindset on only getting the bag, then we truly forgetting about the people who we say we're here to help.
See, that's what I was about to say about this. Because like you said, it's millions of dollars in a nonprofit situation, but
Yeah,
copy them. We need you to really be about the mission statements, though. We need you really out here getting these people to do these push-ups. We need you really
exactly.
caring about this little girl getting to school, this little boy getting a book bag. Like we don't need you to just try to pull up and some. Like you said, these two things don't equate. You can't have the
Yeah,
bag and be here. Because if you have
yeah.
the bag and you're here, he don't have a bag, she don't have a bag, and now they're on your ass because you
And
just got
now
this free money. Like,
And now what the nonprofit world is turning into, what I see, and from just a familiarity of the streets, it's turning into another street game. It's
yeah,
turning into this my squad, we closing the door, I'm the connect. It's turning into bull crap. So a lot of it right now with us is just like
everything
where we
always
standing
play
firm
like
on our
that.
own. Yeah,
Like,
you know what I'm saying? It's like it go back to like, and not to like going to something like what Malcolm X once said, man, it's one of my favorite quotes because it's so funny. And not to get into the aspects of what a section, religious group is, but he said Elijah Muhammad had the greatest movement ever in the history for black men, and all it took was a nigga to fuck it up. You feel what I'm saying? And I
mhm.
always go back to that mindset because it's just true. Like we got all this stuff going on, and all it takes is a nigga mentality to fuck it up. Because now,
See,
you know what I'm saying?
not to go too far behind the curtain though, but my
Yeah,
dad and all of them was all into that whole situation.
yeah,
So yeah, I know the story.
yeah,
uh, but Rock, um, I'm glad one, like you said, the last 3 weeks you got 3 different awards. Salute to you for those.
yeah.
salute yourself. Tell yourself that you're
Yeah.
proud. Pat yourself on the back. And I'm glad that you're getting those flowers. That somebody else is, you know, saying, acknowledging the fact of what you're doing out here. Because, like I said, we was having these conversations in 2019 about, you know, I'm trying to get home, and I got this I want to do, and I got that I want to do, and it's
Yeah.
like everybody say they got, not everybody, never speak
Yeah.
that broad. People be saying they got a plan. It's the difference between having a plan and executing the plan. I'm glad to see that you came home, you executing the plan. Salute to
Yeah.
you, like I said, and I'm glad that we was able to make this one happen. But you know, this won't be the last time that we having you on.
No
Anything
doubt.
you want to say before we close out 119?
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the whole, you Out of Left Field podcast, every last one of y'all, because like you said, you reached out. We was doing this in prison, you know what I mean, and regardless on, what I'm accomplishing now or what seem to be accomplishing, I know that a lot of the things that I'm able to do because I was able to voice these things and spread this information to y'all and get the confirmation that it's needed too on the podcast. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. I'm always here to the best of my,
Nah,
you know what I
I
mean?
always tell people, like,
Yeah,
if you used to watch those YouTubes when you would be on the phone for like the 12, 15-minute joints, and
yeah,
it would be like, we throw like two questions out to you, and it'd be like, we're just letting you go because we know you had to get off the phone. But
yeah,
it was like, if you was listening to the audio, it was cool. But
yeah,
if you was watching the video, it'd be like, we just all sitting there like, this nigga is killing this joint. The
yeah,
fuck? Ain't nothing I can say back to this joint.
yeah,
Like, and it
yeah,
made for bad YouTube, but it was good. It was good shit. But
yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. That was episode 119, bro. We are out.